Hello, this is Rolling Weights. I wear the mask because my face don't matter. Plus, it lets me to say things without getting shot in the street. This video does not exist for hits, ads, or money. I just want to get the information out. This video is called "The Person Who Twisted Amber Heard's Mind." In the video about will Amber Heard shoot Johnny Depp, I mentioned that I said that I checked Amber Heard's childhood out and hadn't found any appreciable trauma, and that was just dead wrong. I mean, she had a very traumatic childhood. Turns out that her father was a alcoholic who, when he drank, he got violent. It also turned out that his father was an extremely hard-working man who had a construction business, and he raised horses, and when he was, he often took Amber riding horses and fishing and hunting, so they had a lot of socialization time. Amber's mother, as far as I can tell, she suffered in silence, and she was, every time I've seen any picture of Amber with her mother, it's been absolutely beautiful. So you got this dynamic of the suffering mother and the driven alcoholic father who is violent when he drinks. And unfortunately, this creates a situation where the child is forced to choose loyalties and to perform justifications for their parents' behavior. And this starts a situation where, now you got to understand about when you're growing up, the most important relationship examples you find is in the environment that you grow up in, because that's what you're exposed to all the time. You actually think that's normal, you know? And that's unfortunate, because in this situation, I mean, Amber's dad paid the bills and did great things, but he had a huge alcohol problem, and he probably still does. And she grew up in that. So this shows where she got the attraction for the kind of person that Johnny Depp turned out to be. Unfortunately, she grew up with a lot of deficits in her personal ability to have relationships, and they're all because of this model of a relationship. I mean, it's very clear that Amber has a lot of issues with intimacy and a lot of issues with the ability of other people to have relationships that she cannot have, because she just doesn't have those kind of socialization skills. She has a lot of jealousy towards people who have a very easygoing way with them with other people. And I'll reference Johnny's ability to make friends very easily. And she has a big problem with that. And that's why she gets jealous. She tries to control him, tries to keep him from leaving. And, you know, it explains this thing with the alcoholic father. The testimony where he's trying to leave and she is physically grabbing him, trying to keep him from leaving, is likely behavior that she saw as a child of her mother, trying to leave the house while her father was alcoholic. And I'm going to say this, but it's never been proven, so if it never happened, please forgive me. He may have been getting physically violent with her, and she may have been witnessing this as a child, saying, I'm going to leave. I'm getting out of here. So it's an entirely skewed way of growing up in your relationship profile of how to deal with other people. And she's missing a particular social trait that some people have, that a lot of people have. And, you know, my heart goes out to her because, you know, there's no normal in this world. There just isn't. You know, I'd love for people to say, oh, that's normal. Listen, every human being, there's 7 billion different human beings and 7 billion different ways of looking at life. But unfortunately, she has some real anger issues. And, I mean, you can see where she got them from. But one of the things I wanted to draw on was a potential statement from her father. And I'll bring this out. And this really kind of pissed me off when I read it. Johnny had given her a Mustang and had it restored, and it was a gorgeous car. And it is a gorgeous, or it was a gorgeous car. Anyway, she wanted to have some more work done on it. And the shop that was doing it, this was after she had left Johnny. And the shop guy that was doing it called her and said, hey, we need to discuss this. I need to get some money for, this stuff before we start moving on this. And she exploded about how Johnny's lawsuits had impacted her finances, and said to him something to the effect, you're screwing me, talking to the shop guy. And he had told her, said, look, I don't want to get in the middle of this. I just need to get some money so we can get started on this. Something to that effect. And the discussion got so heated so many times, he just stopped taking calls from her and stopped taking texts from her. Well, her father got involved in it. A guy his name is David. David Hurd got involved in it. And he made several calls to him in anger. And he made the following statement. I'm just going to read it. And there's a lot of cuss words in it, so just get ready for it. That fucking piece of shit is fucking me, too, because I'm supposed to get 10% of the money, and without it, I can't produce the movie I was going to make. He is ruining my baby girl's career and blackballing her in Hollywood. And when I get to him, I'm going to beat the shit out of him. I'm from Texas, and men from Texas carry 45s, and Johnny is going to meet the fucking end of mine. And David Hurt supposedly said that. Now, that's an alleged statement, so it may not be true. But that's a very detailed, not true statement. And if it is true, the most damning part of it is the part where David Hurd supposedly says, I'm supposed to get 10% of the money. Without it, I can't produce the movie I was going to make. Because what that tells you is that he's working his daughter for money. That he feels entitled to part of the huge amount of cash that Amber Heard is hopefully going to get from her settlements with Johnny Depp. And also from all of the engagements that she's going to get from all the social justice organizations that she's entertaining now. That she's actually performing for now. And that's really troubling because it changes the dynamic between Amber and her father to a loving situation where the man has just got an alcohol problem to a parent who is actually grooming his daughter for money. And that's never, ever a good sign. But before you go jumping on David Hurd for that, listen, this is a common problem with Hollywood parents. It really is. It was such a bad one that the Shirley Temple laws were done. Because, Hollywood parents have very often seen their talented children as a means of never having to work again. So don't think that this is unusual. But it's just kind of sad because Amber clearly loves her dad, and she would defend his honor to the end of her life because she is a daughter who loves her daddy. And unfortunately, her mother, I mean, she looked not well in the last pictures that I saw with Amber with her. She looked like she might have been fighting a uterine cancer or something like that. But there's a potential she may. I'm not even going to say it. But anyway, there's a potential for other things to have happened. They said that she died of natural causes, but they were non-specific. And this was around the time that he made the statement here about the highly emotional statement about, I'm going to shoot Johnny Depp. So that's what I wanted to say. And, I want to admonish everyone to stop going after these two, like one's an angel and one's the devil, because It's clear that Johnny had his drug problems and that he wasn't the nicest person in the world, but it's pretty clear that he wasn't near as physically violent as Amber's been saying. Now, this situation tells you that a potential motive for why Amber is going after Johnny so hard, because she's being encouraged to produce revenue, and she just doesn't see it. Now, in Amber's relationships with people, it's pretty clear she's more comfortable with a woman as a life partner, and that's a tribute to her mother. Her mother was her comfort center. And it's equally true that it's just very bizarre that she got with Johnny Depp, and there's a whole dynamic here with her father that's very disturbing in light of that statement. So I just want to put this information out there, and I just want to encourage people to please don't demonize these two. Amber's on trial for defamation, and indeed, if her father was pushing her to produce 10% of the revenue from whatever she gets, and she loves her father, she's actually doing part of this out of love for her father. So, I mean, we live in a very strange world. So, I would encourage people to please don't demonize Amber. Please don't demonize Johnny. Let's get through this trial and see what happens. It's pretty clear that Johnny, I mean, we don't have any evidence of him actually hitting anybody. And yet we have Amber on recording actually saying that, I'm not punching you, I was hitting you. Be like a man, take it like a man. Which is very strange, because that kind of statement is a kind of statement that a mother would make to a father. So that kind of tells you, were they both alcoholics? And was Amber's mother beating the father every day? So, I mean, there's just a dynamic here that's troubling in the entire situation she grew up in, and I want to get that out there. And essentially say, when I said, well, I checked her childhood out and didn't find any problems, well, that was completely wrong. So, just remember, you're watching a guy on the internet with a mask on. Don't take what I say too seriously, but you can investigate this for yourself. That article was in... that article was published. Let's put the old gazers on here. Posted at nzherald.co at nz.herald.co.nz on 2nd of December 2019. The title is Amber Heard's father reportedly threatened to shoot Johnny Depp. So there's a lot of messed up stuff in this situation on both sides. And this potentially gives us a motivator behind Amber's actions. It also gives us a second person who might kill Johnny Depp. So it's just something to be aware of, and please, please, please don't demonize these people, because they're just people. And people are fallible. That's who we are. That's why they say we're humans. We are fallible. Okay? So let's try to get through this. Let's try to make things less violent about how we deal with other people, and try to treat each other better. Okay? God bless everybody. Take care.